Hello everyone, welcome to Musings at Daybreak. This is our fourth video in this series. As I've been mentioning about it previously, that musing is a reflection or contemplation about a topic. It's a dialogue with oneself for self-clarification. You allow your intuition, knowledge, and experience to guide you to a better understanding of an issue. By sharing my musings, I'm inviting you to reflect and form your own ideas. I do not seek to provide you with some warm and fuzzy inspiration or some right answers. These musings are to prompt your thinking and to help you to enlighten your own views. They may even show you a new direction which may be more satisfying in life. The topic of today's musing is living and dying. Buddha said, we begin to die from the moment we are born, for birth is the cause of death. The nature of decay is inherent in youth. The nature of sickness is inherent in health. In the midst of life, we are verily in death. It means that death and life are inseparable concepts. We all start dying the day we are born, whether we live up to 50 years or 100 years, every day we live is gradually taking us closer to our end. This entails that at any moment in time, we are living and dying simultaneously. The art of living is to ask yourself whether we are living more than dying. Because being alive means living more than dying, and being dead means the contrary, dying more than living. The question is, how do we know whether a person is living more than dying? The most important evidence of living is presented when a person is growing in their mind with new ideas, new desires, acquiring new knowledge. And through this new knowledge, they show evidence of growth. This shows in their constitution, in their actions, and their way of dealing with others. Another important way a person shows that they are living more than dying is their ability for self-correction and improvement. If a person suddenly becomes incapable of correcting their errors, learning from their mistakes, and acquiring any new knowledge, their action will become stagnant. The constant stagnancy of their activities and their actions reflect that the person has stopped growing. So how do we know whether or not this person is alive? He or she is merely eating, sleeping, talking, and struggling with the same few things every day and in the exactly same manner. Certainly we can call this person a biological entity, but hardly a conscious living being that is capable of growth. Thus, a dead person is simply an entity that has lost its capability of growth. They may still be alive in biological sense of existence, but it is not alive in the social sense of living. Consequently, our real worry in life should be not of death, but of dying or of an unlived life. If we continue to live more than we continue to die, it doesn't matter whether we are young or old. Age then becomes a meaningless concept. If we are living more than dying, then we may be young at a very old age, and if we are dying more than living, we may be very old at very young age. Consequently, a young person may be more dead than an older person if he or she has stopped living. An older person may be more alive than the young person if he or she is still growing. In the words of great French philosopher Montaigne, the utility of living consists not in the length of days, but in the use of time. A man may have lived long and yet lived but a little. Make use of time while it is present with you. It depends upon your will and not upon the number of days to have a sufficient length of life. Lastly, as Wittgenstein, who is another great thinker, noted that death is not an event in our life. Death is not something which we experience in life. So it is an empty concept. And the best use of this concept would be to use it in our living. Realizing that we live towards death in time should remind us to live according to our values, correct our priorities, and wisely use our time on this planet. Therefore, we should every now and then ask ourselves these following questions. Are we living or dying? Remember, if we are not busy in living, we are busy in dying. Are we living in today or in the remorse of yesterday? The reality of living belongs to today and now. Yesterday is gone and tomorrow is a hope. Are we living and loving? Now, what would be life and living if we don't love or care for others? Finally, do we worry too much about death? Think again. Are you worried about death or worried about not living your life fully? That's all I have, folks. Until we see each other again, don't hesitate to live and love, and happy musings. Thank you.